Daima episode 19 gave us the most hype moment of the entire show, full stop. And that says a lot coming off the absolutely awesome episode from last week. But this episode was just made for me. I try not to throw around the word perfect too much, but that final scene, it was perfect. Let's not waste any time at all and get right into that episode recap. I think the Daima team realized there was no topping the craziness of last week unless we turn everyone back into adults. And that's exactly what they do to kick the episode off. Glorio betrays Arinsu and returns our characters to their regular forms. And with that comes their regular voice actors. Ryo Horikawa, Toshio Furukawa, and all the rest are back at last. And as much as I enjoyed the new voice actors, I gotta say, I miss the OGs. It was so nice to hear them again, and I'm glad Horikawa especially got to be a part of an episode this awesome. Now that they're back in their normal bodies, the group decides to play fair against the evil, murderous Demon King. No more group attacks. It's gonna be Adult Vegeta versus Dazed Gomah in a 1v1. And let me say right now, the video games and card games and makers of various Dragon Ball merchandise are gonna eat off these last few episodes of Daima for a long time. Between Super Saiyan 3s, Super Saiyan 4s, and adult variations on those characters, we're looking at enough Sparking Zero DLC to last us 5 years. Vegeta, finally back in his normal body, is able to keep pace with Gomah even in his base form. But I'll be honest, at this point, I knew exactly what was going to happen for pretty much every fight we saw in this episode before it even happened. Our hero will beat up Gomah and treat him like a punching bag, but then it's revealed that he's not really damaged at all. Then the main hero transforms into a more powerful form, beats up Gomah, and the cycle repeats again. That said, even when something is horribly predictable, it could still be fun to watch if the execution is on point. And I truly believe the execution on this episode may have been the very best in the entire series. When it comes to sheer excitement, this episode was best of all, and it starts with Vegeta finally getting to show off Super Saiyan 3 as an adult. As expected after seeing the kid version, my boy looks absolutely glorious as an adult, too. Then, we finally learn the epic backstory between Glorio and Arinsu. Yup, there it is. One whole sentence. She rescued him from the third demon world. No further elaboration, no flashback sequence. That's it. That's all we get. Have I mentioned that this show is too short? That 20 episodes isn't enough time to fit this whole story in any kind of meaningful or satisfying way? This is really disappointing, and I think it's pretty much universally accepted that they dropped the ball on Glorio with this series. He really just blended into the background at some point and ended up being this quiet, emotionless dude that flew the ship and was not very fleshed out at all. I basically forgot about him until last episode when he brought those Dragon Balls to Arinsu and made the wish. Vegeta actually transforms into a Super Saiyan 3 mid-fight, which is beautiful to see in motion. In fact, I'd love to show it to you in motion. But after Toei went nuclear on other YouTubers that release weekly Daima review videos, I decided I probably shouldn't tempt fate here. Sadly, I was forced to delete all 18 of my previous Daima review videos here on the channel out of an abundance of caution. It would have been a real shame to lose my entire channel over using 8 seconds of footage from a Japanese cartoon. So, carefully selected stills will have to do. Anyway, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta absolutely wrecks Gomah with ease. He's just beating the shit out of this dude. Every hit is so satisfying, and it made for such a wonderful watch. Also, I love these shots of Super Saiyan 3 mean mugging for the camera. It happens so many times this episode, and it never gets old. Then, I actually raged watching this next scene. Glorio confronts his friends as a beautiful piano rendition of Jaka Jaan plays in the background. This is exactly what I wanted last week. During the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, I spelled it out in my 40-minute review video for Daima episode 18 that I was forced to Hakai out of existence. You were too good for this world, Daima episode 18 review and analysis. But yeah, this is a beautiful cover of Jaka Jaan. And look, it's appropriate for this scene. It works. But to me, dropping a beautiful remix of the OP like this is something that should be reserved for only the big moments, especially in a show like this, where it's not like they're using Jaka Jaan as background music in every episode. It's a rare thing that feels special, and I truly wish that you used it last week during that transformation scene. It would have enhanced that whole moment even more. But anyways, sad Jaka Jaan piano remix plays as Glorio bonds with his homies, and Neva does his famous wink. Then, Goku finally gets his name right, which I gotta admit was a very cute moment that I enjoyed. This was actually earned. That little bastard didn't get his name right one single time this entire series. If only the relationship between Glorio and the rest of the team had a bit more time to be fleshed out further. We cut back to Vegeta versus Gomah. And while the animation has already been great up until now, for this next sequence, we step shit up to another level. Animating this 2-minute long scene is none other than Ryo Onishi, the legend himself. I mean, as soon as you see Gomah looking like this, with all those smears, you already know who's drawing this thing. Everything we see in this 2-minute span looks simply incredible. We get some patented Onishi action, and then Vegeta charges up a final flash. Now, is it as epic as the final flash from Dragon Ball Z? One of the best moments ever in all of fiction? No, not at all. But hey, in this modern era, where everything has to happen super fast, and we can't hold on Vegeta charging up his move for 10 minutes, this at least looked beautiful while it lasted. The influence from that original scene is clearly on display, and I absolutely love it. But there was something about this otherwise godlike scene that did annoy me. Why wouldn't they have Vegeta scream Final Flash? Like, this is basic anime stuff here. You scream out the name of your technique when you use it. Always. Forever. We don't need to overcomplicate things here, Daima. Just yell out the name of the damn Final Flash. It makes everything better. But, surprise, surprise. Vegeta wins the beam struggle, only for Gomah to use the third eye and come right back for more without a single scratch on him. He's now clearly outlasting Vegeta's Super Saiyan 3, a form that famously burns ki like no other. It's only a matter of time until Vegeta is simply too exhausted to continue. Arinsu then gets a brilliant idea. The best way to defeat Gomah's third eye is to remove it from his head. What a genius. She tells Ku to go grab her the Book of Magic Items from archive number 37. You know, the classic. That's the book you check out when you need to remove a third eye from someone's head. All the other books from all the other archives have no such solutions for third eyes. Vegeta continues to beat the absolute piss out of Gomah, but he's also sweating like Shaq at the free throw line. He's clearly gassed and is not gonna last much longer. Gomah, with his giant hand, is able to grip Vegeta's entire head of Super Saiyan 3 hair. If you think about it, only a giant could do this. What a horrible, oddly specific weakness for this form. Vegeta officially runs out of energy and goes back to his base form. Goku wants to tag in, but Vegeta, the arrogant bastard that he is, refuses to give up against this invincible opponent. Arinsu then joins the group, and after reading the book, informs them that Gomah actually does have a weakness. The video game parallels continue here in Dragon Ball Daima as we learn the third eye can be knocked off of Gomah if he's hit at the back of the head 3 times in a row. Then she proceeds to show off the most well-animated blink I've ever seen in Dragon Ball history. I'd show it to you here in this video, but, you know, Toei can't risk it. Instead, let's look at it frame by frame. Wow, 6 whole frames for a blink. That is truly some Sakuga. Anyways, Goku decides he'll fight Gomah and get him in a position that'll allow Piccolo to hit him in the back of the head 3 times. I really hope this actually happens. It would be nice to see Piccolo have some kind of meaningful contribution to the final boss fight. Goku and Piccolo having to team up and perform a really specific attack to defeat a powerful opponent? Now that's a throwback. Gomah gains total control of this fight, beating the hell out of Vegeta. But the Saiyan Prince says very clearly he'd rather die than give up. Luckily, the wifey is here, and you better believe she knows exactly how to get to him. Bulma asks him nicely to stop sniffing his own farts, but he still refuses to stop fighting. So she moves on to the threats. She says if he doesn't stop fighting right now, she'll never take a bath with him again. And with that, bro got out of there real quick. This was so awesome. Turns out Vegeta's anger issues have nothing to do with pride. He was just horny. This is a horny man right here. This line was an all-timer. Pure Toriyama humor right here, and I loved it so much. With Vegeta finally bowing out of the fight, it's time for Goku to step in. The art and animation clearly takes a step up at this point, so you just know something insane is about to happen. Goku stretches out, he gets loose, and transforms into a Super Saiyan. He then proceeds to give the Super Saiyan lesson to Gomah, the absolute classic. This alone got me hyped. The last time he gave that lecture, something legendary followed. And after this episode, it seems like Goku only teaches people about the names of each Super Saiyan form if he has something earth-shatteringly awesome to show off immediately afterwards. This is a Super Saiyan. Then the lightning means Super Saiyan 2. For the next one, it's almost a shot-for-shot homage to the legendary episode 245 of DBZ. And it's awesome. That shit is legendary for a reason, and I have no problem with them using it as a direct reference when putting together this unforgettable scene here in Daima. Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan 3, and this art is just nuts. Boy, has the style shifted pretty dramatically now that our characters are back in their regular adult bodies again. But unlike the Super Saiyan lesson from the Buu saga, this one doesn't end here with Super Saiyan 3. Goku has one more form to go this time around. A little bonus for everyone. Today, right here in Dragon Ball Daima, we're not just playing homage to that scene from DBZ. We're topping it. We're going even further beyond. And what happens next is quite literally the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Goku proceeds to power up even further. And who better to animate this scene? The ultimate tribute to Dragon Ball Z than the absolute GOAT himself, Yuya Takahashi. The very same man who moved heaven and earth to make Dragon Ball Super look halfway decent anytime he got to display his talents on an episode. Here, in Dragon Ball Daima, with this scene, Takahashi is unleashed. To me, this is his finest moment in all of Dragon Ball. Takahashi has always harkened back to the hard-edged style of late DBZ with his art and animation. It's his signature look, and it's why he's become so beloved over the years. His style is immediately recognizable, and he's able to elevate any material he's given. With Daima Episode 19, we are seeing this man at his very best, delivering that DBZ-esque hype like never before. Look at the hair, look at the aura, the effects, his gi. There's so much movement here, and it adds so much to the feel of this scene. It feels big, it feels huge. I mean, look at this face. This is a face that tells you some serious shit is about to go down. And of course, we can't forget about the star of this scene. Masako Nozawa, God bless her, can still nail it with those screams well into her 80s.
孫悟空役の野沢雅子です。俺たちの活躍ちょっと見てくれよな。
She is absolutely wonderful here in this epic scene, and can still deliver that power and fury we all expect from Son Goku when he decides to get serious. Goku's eyes turn red, and he proceeds to rip his damn shirt off. It was at this moment that I was forced to get up out of my computer chair. It was at this moment that the scene evolved from something that was merely great into something that was truly legendary. I could not believe what I was witnessing before my very eyes. I mean, I want to hang this image on my wall. This is it. This is the ultimate Dragon Ball Z moment. An absolutely jacked Goku rips off his shirt, powers up, and screams to the heavens above. We even cut to the other demon worlds and see the effect Goku's crazy transformation is having on them too. Goku hasn't looked this awesome in 30 years. This is it. This is everything I've ever wanted from a transformation scene. This is Toriyama's Super Saiyan 4 on an adult Goku body. And my god, did they nail it. They nailed it. This is a perfect scene. The very definition of hype. The episode ends there, and overall, I think it's pretty clear that I enjoyed this sequence of images combined with sound that formed 20 minutes of television. Even though the outcome was predictable, the Vegeta vs. Gomah fight looked great and was a ton of fun to watch. The Arinsu and Glorio stuff was well and good. That Vegeta and Bulma gag was amazing, but this episode will be remembered for that final transformation scene with Goku. I mean, I was just losing it watching this all go down. It's like they wrote a scene perfectly for me, perfectly for the DBZ kids who loved all of those over-the-top moments from that show. I can't stress enough just how well they were able to check all of the boxes for me. The god tier art and animation is the star of the show here, but this scene is so much more than that. They finally took a breath and slowed things down. This is without a doubt the best example yet of Daima trusting its audience and taking some time to really draw out a big moment and maximize its effectiveness. This scene gets across masterfully to the audience how huge a moment this is. Adult Goku appearing at last as a Super Saiyan 4. Goku begins his transformation sequence at the 1928 mark of the episode. We don't get the money shot of Super Saiyan 4 Goku until the 22:21 mark. That's almost 3 minutes dedicated to this transformation. Let's compare this quickly to some of the other big scenes that left me a bit disappointed. The Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta transformation scene from episode 12 clocked out at only 1 minute and 6 seconds. The Super Saiyan 4 transformation from last week went about 1 minute and 50 seconds from my count. Since the beginning of the show, I've been begging Daima to slow things down a bit and let these big moments sink in. And here, in episode 19, they finally delivered, at least to my own personal liking. At long last, Daima didn't rush through an important scene. This was just right, executed to perfection, and felt so damn good to watch. In summary, Goku ripping off his gi and powering up like never before is the most glorious thing I've ever seen. It's just so good, and I will never get tired of watching it. It's the kind of scene that I think sells Dragon Ball beautifully to a new viewer. The kind of scene that sticks with you for a long time. I hope everyone else watching this felt the same hype and excitement that I did. Truly, this was a Dragon Ball Z scene perfectly translated to the modern day. Next week is the final episode of Dragon Ball Daima, and I am so sad. I've really missed having weekly Dragon Ball content to watch, and now it's already coming to an end. The months have absolutely flown by. Watching the show and putting together these videos over the last 20 weeks has been an absolute blast. Anyways, the next episode preview has me hyped out of my mind for the finale. It's exactly what I asked for in my video from last week. Now SHIDA is back, and he's animating Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. As you would expect, it looks glorious just from the preview, and we know they're saving the really good stuff for the episode itself. SHIDA hasn't done shit since episode 8, so I expect him to go all out next week. Hell, I'm expecting the full all-star team next week. I'm hoping we see a lot of the big name artists and animators next episode, and they blow us all away for the big finale. I am expecting nothing less than movie quality from start to finish next week. No pressure, guys. Also, we still gotta do Fusion. Let's not forget. It won't last long, but I still fully expect a Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyan 4 Fusion next week. Because it's not enough to sell Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta toys. It's not enough to sell those Super Saiyan 4 toys. We need a Fusion 2. This is modern Dragon Ball, my friends. The sooner you accept that it's just a big toy commercial at heart, the better off you'll be. That's gonna wrap it up for today. If you like this video and want to see more Dragon Ball content, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Daima may be coming to an end next week, but there's no shortage of new content coming to my channel here in the very near future. Soon after that Daima finale airs, my feature-length Dragon Ball GT video will be dropping. Hey Toei, I'd appreciate it if you didn't take that one down and erase the last 11 months of my life. That would be great. Thanks. I'm working hard to make sure everything is all copyright compliant, and that I'm not breaking any international laws by using too many 6-second long clips of Dragon Ball GT in my video. So look forward to that soon, but until next time, thanks so much for watching everyone, and take care.